MG Motor India never shies out bringing new business models to Indian automotive market. This time yet again with the first product after the joint venture with JSW had to be great. MG Windsor, hats off. The car looks wonderful. People have been talking about it across the internet, across different showrooms. This is the first of its kind for Indian market. It is the CUV, also known as crossover utility vehicle. I understand you might have gone through a lot of videos and have been across all the features and specifics, but in this video we will specifically talk about the most complicated subject, the price. Obviously the car starts with 999, but is there a catch? Yes, people also talk about 1350, 13,49,000. What actually is rising is, we talk about all of that in detail, and after that we just try to conclude or summarize about few basic features of the car, the top 5 highlights, and also is the car worth it for you or not. We'll discuss that all in this video today. So let's get started. In this first segment, let me just try to untangle the complicated strengths for you and explain how does this BaaS and pricing work for MG Windsor. The BaaS means battery as a service. This also means that you can use the car without paying the upfront cost of battery and pay a subscription cost based on kilometers or monthly usage. So let us try to understand this BaaS analogy with a basic Apple example. Consider you buy an apple which is worth 100 rupees of cost. You pay 100, you get the apple, and that's it. In the second scenario, let us consider that that apple is built up of two different components. One is battery and second is the vehicle, right? So the vehicle cost is 80 rupees and the battery cost is 20 rupees. You pay upfront 80 and you take the car. The remaining 20, obviously you've got to pay that with an interest amount. So that interest would be added to 20 rupees as well. Consider the interest is 5 rupees, the battery cost is 20 rupees, the total that you owe to the company is 25 rupees. Now there are two different options for you. One, either you can have no minimum commitment and pay actually for the kilometers that you use every month. And the second is you've got a specific commitment, even though you use a 1 kilometer or 100, you've got to pay a specific amount every month. To offer you this program, MG India has collaborated with 4 different finance aggregators. One is Hero, second is Bajaj, third is Vidyut, and the fourth is Ecobi. 4 different aggregators have got different options and offerings for you. Some might bound you up with the minimum number of kilometers. Some might just offer you an ease of paying actual kilometers that you use. Some might bound you with the per kilometer cost at a higher side because obviously that offers you the loan even though your credit or CIBIL score is a little bit lower. So considering this package, it is indeed a little confusing to understand, but I think this chart or matrix will help you understand it a little better. When we talk about the pricing front, there could be two different sections. One that considers the ex-showroom price to 9,99,000 excluding the battery, and the second could be 13,49,000 that includes the battery. When we calculate the on-road price for both, we get an amount, and when we differentiate that amount, we find the actual difference between both these different options. It is not just limited to that. Obviously, you'd also calculate the per kilometer cost, which means stated 3.5 rupees. If you add the GST, tentatively comes down to 4.1 rupees per kilometer. And the most important section, obviously, the interest. The difference amount between one-time purchase and BaaS purchase, when you consider the interest for that specific amount, it turns out to this amount. And this actually makes you understand whether you should go for one-time purchase or BaaS purchase. In this second section, let us talk about the top 5 highlights of the MG Windsor, which has put everybody in an awe. How can this be possible? So the first feature is obviously the Aero Lounge seats that can recline up to 135 degrees, making it the most comfortable space ever. The second most important thing is the Grand View Touch display, which is 15.6 inches in size, equivalent to some laptops or probably some televisions that we've got in our houses, and it makes it more easier for you to interact with the touch play system. The third most attractive feature of MG Windsor is the Infinity View glass roof. It covers the whole roof area and gives a great view when you're sitting inside the car cabin. The fourth most underrated but extremely useful and handy feature, the digital Bluetooth key, also follows from its other brothers and siblings within the MG family to MG Windsor. And the fifth feature has got to be the Aero Glide design. This is quite new to its segment and probably a newest and refreshed design for Indian automotive industry. Now, since you're joining hands with MG Motor India, let us talk about the exclusive perks that you get when you become a family member. The first benefit has got to be the unlimited battery warranty. And this is first of its segment and first of its kind. So how does it position? Obviously, if you're the first owner of the car, you get the unlimited kilometers warranty advantage. Once you're selling the car to somebody else, the warranty reduces to 8 years or 1,60,000 kilometers, whichever is earlier. The second most beautiful feature of this segment is the unlimited free charging for 1 year. And that comes with eHub and directory for all the different charging stations nearby you. The third most beautiful feature is obviously the 333 that comes with 3 years unlimited kilometers warranty for the car, 3 years roadside assistance, and 3 labor-free services. Last but not the least, the exclusive perk also includes 3-60 that talks about 3 years, 60% of your ex-showroom prices, residual value if you're selling the car back to MG Motor India. In this last segment, let's discuss if the car is actually worth the money. The money that you're paying for this car today, indeed, if you compare the size of the car, it is nowhere comparative to any other models, any other cars in this price range within the segment. This is the biggest car that you get. In the rear seat, you feel like a king being driven in a car with your chauffeur. And when we talk about the battery specification front, I'm not very much satisfied with the offerings. Undoubtedly, the power and the torque is quite decent, but the range is also unsatisfactory, which comes down to 331 kilometers only. Effectively, I would consider that it might give you an effective range of 220 to 250 kilometers in a single full charge, which to my understanding, obviously when we compare the different competitors in the segment, the Mahindra XUV 400 and the Tata Nexon EV, undoubtedly their claimed promises seems to be a little higher when we talk about the range, but somehow MG Windsor manages to be at the right spot. The packaging of the MG Windsor seems extremely promising. That's where my energy ends today to talk about auto. I'll catch you in the next episode.